I feel like Chinese people swag out everything. Like they have an extra flair to a punch. Yeah. Japanese is like straight to the fucking face and that's it.
And welcome back to another martial episode of The Careful Boys, where we have Brian and Andy from the Martial Club.
Hey, what's up? Grateful to be here.
Joe is about to go on a rant about why karate's better than kung fu.
Way fucking better, dude. You know why?
Better how? In what way?
Why?
Because it's fake.
Like it's cheaper?
Karate's fake. Everything is man-made.
You know karate is just kung fu.
Yeah, it's all a punch and kick. Before punch and kick, it was man-made. Like someone made kung fu, someone made karate,
And it became a construct in itself.
and that's why you probably saw me at the breaking sessions, because it's just like I think we broke the matrix of martial arts.
And the highest form is emptiness. So that's when you learn to let go.
As an official member of the Japanese party,
Like mine.
I have to tell you guys the truth about karate. Okay? It's propaganda. That's not an ancient martial art in Japan at all. Boxing came to Japan before karate did.
Is that for real?
Yeah, Jack Dempsey, that
Yeah, Jack Dempsey.
He was popular, bro. Like everybody was boxing. They loved that. Judo, jiu-jitsu, everyone did because that was just something you did at school. Everyone learned. But karate, striking and
Stem from like Okinawa, right? Or like
yeah, but Okinawans aren't Japanese. They're like Taiwanese. They're like their own people. And then
They got nice goatees though.
hell yeah.
Probably the finest.
And then at the time, you know how Japan was kind of being like Nazis, right? They're like, we can't have this white being popular in Japan. Because at the time, they didn't want anything American. All English words for things, they were like, we're not going to use the English word no more. We're going to call it something else. So like, they're like, we need to have our own striking sport that isn't white. And then so they looked, right? And then they found Okinawans fucking doing this shit. And they're like, what the fuck is that, right? And then they went over there, they're like, what do you call this shit? They go, it's called Chinese hands. And then they're like, Chinese hands? Well, we can't call it that. That's not gonna be very Japanese. They're like, nah, we gotta call it something else. We'll call it something else. So they got the guy, the father of judo, who basically took jujitsu and he made it into a system so he could turn it into a sport and teach it to the masses. So they went to Okinawa and then they got the top judo guy. All the karate schools came out and then, or the Chinese hand schools, they did all their forms and shit.
I see. Okay.
And then they're like, this is sick, this is sick. And then they're like, all right, what are we gonna do is we're gonna get all of the schools and figure out like a system. And that's how Shotokan came to life.
Wow, okay.
Because it was like, all right, we're gonna figure out, just like what they did with judo. Because jiu-jitsu existed, like samurais used it to fucking fight when their sword got lost, right? So same shit, like that is basically kung fu that went to Okinawa. Because a lot of Okinawans could also speak Chinese. Because they're like, they traded a lot with China. If you look at where Okinawa
Chinese
is,
mouth too.
Chinese mouth.
Chinese mouth.
That's a little crazy.
Then we can't call it that. That shit's,
Chinese hands and a Chinese mouth.
that shit's closer to Taiwan than it is to Japan.
I see.
So like, so they went there. They were their own kingdom, all that shit. They're not even ethnically Japanese, right? So that's what people don't know about Okinawa.
Shit, they're not?
No, they're Ryukyuans. They're their own kingdom. But they were like a vassal state. But the thing with them, how they survived, is when Chinese people came, they'll be like, "Yo, here's tribute. Yeah, man, we're on the same team. We pay to you guys." When Japan came, they're like, "Yeah, man, we'll fucking pay to you. We're Japanese, dude." That's how they survived.
Probably just mixed hell over the years.
Yeah. But then they traded hella with China, and that's where Kung Fu came over there. And there was this whole documentary of like, I guess there's like a crane style or something.
Right, yeah.
And their katas, their forms are very similar to the stuff they practice in Okinawa.
Juryu when they're like this and shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, okay. I've seen that. Oh.
So that's how they did that. And then they're like, well, we can't call it Chinese hands because it's a Japanese sport. And then so they go empty-handed.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, thanks for
What year was this? Like when this all went down?
Man, I don't know.
93.
That's why I was born, bro.
Bro, it could, I don't know, it could be like fucking 1910, you know?
Jack Dempsey was popular.
You know what's interesting? I think every martial arts gets political. Even even for like wushu, it's like
it's like propaganda essentially.
Yeah, it's propaganda.
Well, it's because it's like a performative martial art, right? It's
Yeah.
not really like a defense or
Yeah.
like lifestyle fighting thing.
What makes it propaganda?
So I think so. The story that Daniel told me, and I still gotta fact check this, but when the communist government came together, they wanted to like de-weaponize like anyone who knew how to fight. So they got all these kung fu masters together, and like developed a system. Like I think a lot of them went into hiding.
I think they had gymnasts and like the Peking opera.
in Chinese opera.
Yeah,
maybe?
Chinese opera.
And just like a fusion, just to make a systemized martial arts called wushu, and that's why it's a lot more performance based. And I think the original Shaolin, you notice a lot of Shaolin doing wushu.
Yeah.
They'll adopt a lot of that, that stuff into their.
Yeah.
So it's
I think
one thing-
it's a similar story to capoeira, actually.
Yeah, they hid their martial art
yeah,
in dance. Yeah.
So they made it like a dance and stuff, but the soldiers all like knew it.
Yeah.
It is crazy though to think like, so there used to be a time. I mean, all countries, right, had warriors, and they all had like a martial art, right? But over time, that shit becomes ballet, or like it becomes dance. Like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Wushu's changed a lot because when it first came out, like I guess Jet Li's era, you were able to tell still which province they were from, and like
Yeah,
you
it's like
know
it's
what I
like the root of it still bled out when they're performing. You know,
and we saw the same with tricking, like with tricking too, like back then everyone was like, damn, I sound old. Like when we were like really deep in the game with tricking, like everyone was still their own video game characters, you know. There
and
was a
it
lot of
derived from like
originality.
the competition circuit.
I'm sure breaking is probably the same way. Yeah. So that's a pattern we're noticing with a lot.
It's all
I guess-
converging.
And I guess with like social media and like
Oh,
TikTok,
dude, everything is getting more like
Yeah.
how do you say it? Like
saturated
Yeah,
and
saturated.
just
Melting pot.
melting pot.
Yeah, that's true. It's almost like all these styles went one way, and then now it's kind of coming back to like this.
It's like MMA.
Yeah.
yeah.
essentially, yeah.
Because
That's true.
when I was like deep diving into the whole like how karate got watered down and shit, they actually had hella grappling. Because I don't know in Kung Fu if they had it, but like in the forums, like they were like, what is this shit? And then a guy was like explaining like, oh, this
What
shit.
is that shit?
Like they'll be
I
weird.
think we trained this form together.
They'll be like, yeah, shit like that, and then they're like, what is that? They're like, oh, it's actually not a strike. It's actually like evasion from being grabbed or like whatever, and it's grappling. But when they were systemizing it, they were like, we don't need grappling. We already got judo. So then they said, we're gonna make this kickboxing, and we're gonna make it a striking sport. I was like, damn.
In your guys' opinion, totally subjective, how would you rank martial arts in terms of like who can actually whoop ass?
This is so good.
It's hard.
I don't think we're too familiar
You're
with
at the
like
top,
the
the
fight
fighting-
circuit and like the fight world. Honestly, we're not.
Then just even better, still do it.
Probably fighters then.
Like fighters who
MMA
fight
fighters.
can.
Yeah.
That's a good scale.
Subjective opinion as an art form.
As an art form,
The prettiest.
The most beautiful?
that's very subjective.
Yeah, very
Answer,
subjective,
you know,
very
is-
subjective.
You know, I feel like the UFC started because of this actual question of which martial art is the
Just
strongest.
make sure you say karate's down here.
You know in the movie Ip Man?
Yeah.
I'm a big Donnie Yen fan. But my two favorite styles though is the Japanese guy
Oh,
and
in
then
Ip Man?
in Ip Man. And then
General guy?
the bald bald guy. guy. The bald guy. Because his styles is so fucking hard, it's tight. Versus which is no offense, Donnie. It's kind of gay.
Come on.
And then the northerner. You know the northerner dude?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that guy's so tight.
It's just only power hits like boom.
That's your style, though. No finesse, this guy.
Yes, I do.
No finesse.
Subjective, right? You like
Subjective.
you like the straightforward stuff. Like I like the flashy.
He's very
stuff.
straight.
It's different, but that's what makes us all different.
How about an easier thing? We can pick top three because I think every martial artist carries their own like personal flair, and there's different elements.
Okay,
that we
top three, but
appreciate.
then also after bottom three. Okay, go.
Bottom one and then top three.
I'll do top three first.
two.
See, like you're asking us, we don't really believe in styles anymore.
Oh, really?
Shit, you guys transcend.
Before the normies.
You guys are
though.
like me
normies
on that.
like us.
But you know what though? The style is like they all look good getting their ass kicked. Cause like they all suck. All martial arts, they fucking suck unless it's actual MMA. Like no one can fight. That's the truth.
And I agree.
But they look so good.
How about like, what are your favorite styles for camera?
Honestly, lately for me it's been breaking. You know,
Camera?
Yeah. Like, there's so much elements you can pull.
actually,
Like-
if you think about it, breaking is a battle. It's a battle movement art form. So if you're asking us, and we're like movement martial artists, there's a lot to learn from.
Cool.
I started reading Alien S as a art of battle, like, and I've been like, you know, just, and I'm applying it to like my I'm weird, dude. I've been like just, but anyways, so for me it would be breaking right now. As just now, you're asking me,
I'm first, you're last again.
and then
Karate's at the very bottom.
Sorry, Joe.
Shotokan's at the bottom.
Shotokan breaking.
Breaking's the best martial arts.
you're only asking me. I'm just putting it in categories because you guys are asking. Right? I really love wushu. I think it's so badass. Like as a propaganda martial arts, still, I think it's beautiful.
Top 5 propaganda martial arts.
Beautiful. It's the hardest. I think
it's the hardest for sure.
I think if it's physically demanding, you gotta jump, you got flexibility.
You're like this.
Peak athleticism you gotta have to like fuck shit up.
Everyone's doing 720s and shit.
Yeah.
So wushu
in the splits.
Yeah. Wushu and breaking fight for the first for me, depending on the day.
Wushu, those demos where they keep slamming each other.
Oh yeah. Or when you get a spear and you go like this and then go like that.
For wushu, is there a special wushu floor or no?
Just carpet. I
Back
think.
then it was carpet.
Oh, it might be
think
different now. We don't
it
know.
might be
Is the way when like fools jump up, do a 720, and land in the splits? Is that on?
Slam.
Is it regular floor?
I haven't been to a competition in recent years, so I don't know. But it's evolved since when I first was really getting into it. But they might have added floors. I don't know.
I do think it's peak athleticism. Wushu is crazy.
They're in crazy shape, those guys.
Nuts.
Can we come back to that? You go first. I'll
Okay,
tell you
sure. So first would probably have to be, shit, I can't even think of the style, but something very acrobatic, whether it's like capoeira or like tricking or like wushu, you know, because if it's for like the sake of like entertainment, flash is everything in our eyes, you know, like so something that's very acrobatic.
What about those like taekwondo competitions where they kick 3 balls?
Yeah, taekwondo was gonna be my third actually.
Yeah.
Demo style taekwondo.
Like when there's 3 guys on each other's shoulders and then they kick the boards. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dude.
They never show how each guy got on top of each other.
Yeah, that's why I don't like either.
I think they just do like a
show the setup.
They should show the guy where it's like, whoa, 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 hey, the lead to the left, okay, oh.
They just start rolling after that.
He just wanted to do his Korean accent.
Where do they pick him up?
Oh,
Where does the guy? Where does the
Balance.
in the ranking? Where's the monkey guy from Bloodsport at for his style?
Oh yeah.
Monkey guy from Bloods.
The African
Monkey guy.
fighter.
Which one?
He has a monkey style.
Sumo wrestler, he goes like this, and then he goes up,
The sumo guy.
and then he punches him to death.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. As long as it's like hella acrobatic, that's number 1 still. Okay. 2 is
I feel like Chinese people swag out everything. Like they have an extra flair to a punch. Japanese is like straight to the fucking face and that's it.
Efficiency. Yeah.
Chinese is also very it's culture. Like there's so much meaning behind a punch.
It's like
You know what I mean?
colorful, you know?
Yeah, they have names for it.
it's like the yuma means like punch from the heart.
Yuma.
Yeah.
Punch
Like
from
all
the
your
heart.
intent is like
Can literally mean punch from the heart, but it can also mean like
It's like a poetic way to beat somebody up. Japan is just straight up like, let me punch you in the back of the skull. Hiya! That's it, you know? And there's nothing else to it.
Of the skull.
Yeah.
poem too well, man.
Back of skull.
Chinese is like, I'm going to fuck you up, but so artfully, you know? Poetically fuck you up.
It's the ultimate form of like insulting someone. Like, by the way, like
It's like, dude, you beat me up in an art form. Whereas
Yeah.
like Japanese style is just, I hate you, I'm going to kill you. You know?
Pretty true. Yeah.
oh yeah. Okay.
top 3.
Okay. Part 2. Number 2 would probably be something more grounded and hard hitting, just to contrast the acrobatics. So like like Tony Jaa style, like in like On Bak. Even though there's acrobatics, there's like a heaviness,
Like
to
a flying knee to the face is hard to
like,
beat.
fuck you up like kind of shit, you know, like
He
fucking
doesn't
something
he
hard.
doesn't kick like a taekwondo guy. Like,
Yeah,
there's weight to his like.
yeah,
ground
and it's full
baseball
contact
bat.
on film,
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah. We actually worked in Thailand actually we went there 3 years in this past. We went there three times in the past year for films, and we worked with Tony Jaa's team, and dude, those guys are like
Are they really hitting each other like
they hit the shit out of each other.
That's all they know.
Contact, huh?
But look, you're coming from Thailand. Like Muay Thai is like that's their sport. Like they know what a
the
real
whole
hit
country.
looks
They know
like.
what a hit looks like.
So when you do film,
That's a good point. I didn't think about
They
that.
have their own like performative like Muay Thai style. Too.
Yeah, it's a brand.
Yeah. And like they're making
It's in the culture already, so
there
yeah.
was oh my god, there was one day we did we were like we needed some guys to do some falls, and we were trying to just prep for like just find the guys
Import some Filipinos.
and so dude dude that's the thing, like they like to us like stunt guys aren't expendable, they're humans too, you know.
Yeah.
not in China.
But for the,
Bro, I think it's different in Asia. Like, that's how they see it, you know?
The Shaw brothers would like a word with you about that.
but they would line up and then they would just like they would just punch each other, like they would just like they would audition for us and they would straight up like hit each other.
As an audition?
It was a different process. So what we did was, so we like came to Thailand with the American team, right? It was us, our big brother DY, who was like the star of the film, and then we hired only 3 stunt guys because it was a low budget film, right? But then there were like 25 stunt guys there, and we're like, what the fuck, like. I was like, is this in the budget? Like, I don't know what's going on, right? And then we talked to the stunt coordinator, and he's like, oh, it's, I don't remember what.
They're coming looking for work.
Yeah, so they're
like
coming
dudes
to
at Home Depot.
audition, you know.
Just hanging out.
I guess you can
Kind
say
of,
it's like
yeah.
that.
So like we would go over the choreo, and then the stunt coordinator would be like, "You stand here," you
they
know.
would
hit
audition him. Yeah.
And then we'd be like, "Fuck," you know. But we wouldn't hit the fuck out. It's like just doing the choreo with them, and then in the end we just see, okay, I like him. He's acrobatic, you know, and that's how it works.
Kind of like how they do like when Asian there's like job interviews, right? Like
Yeah.
I've been to this one recruiting place where they bring all these girls that want to work, and then it's like a weird color, you know, like pink place, couches, and then you just choose which one you want, and
He's coming out. Yeah, I'll do the same.
and then you pick one.
Is there like a catalog where you can see like
Yeah,
all of
and
them?
I don't know why. Like, I wouldn't dress in a bikini for my first job interview, but that's just the culture. I can't really fight it. So,
Is the job agency called Heaven on Earth or something?
I know that from Rush Hour. Only Heaven on Earth.
no, it was called Angel Massage. I don't know why.
Oh, in Baldwin Park.
Is this real?
So I think in Asia that's the standard. I think everything is people line up and then you get to choose.
Right. It's like we have a variety pick, you know.
But one of them's for camera, the other you're not allowed to film. Got it.
When we practice, when we hit each other, like we perform it, so it looks like we do. We just add a bit of power powder, you know, just like tap and push, you know, just
It's
enough.
like a different kind of technique where it's like.
But for them,
They straight up just don't. Wow.
so when they're like, I'm like I did like a cork kick.
Oh yeah.
Or or whatever. So, and then I hit him. I tapped him, and like my foot was hurting, and I'm like, dude, are you okay? And they're like, yeah, nothing, harder. And so then
Harder? Why? Harder?
that's for them. It's like
It
it's
almost-
disrespectful if you don't hit them.
It almost feels like if you respect me, you will do the right thing and hit me.
Oh, because then you think he's like a. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, kind of.
So when we're watching like Protector or something, and there's a very clear hit on camera, how much of that is like selling, and how much of it's he's just getting his ass hit?
Well, one, Tony Jaa's a badass, so he sells regardless. But I think like from the stories we hear, he hits.
Yeah. And just knowing how.
But so does Steven Seagal, so I think we're okay.
I heard he's a bully.
Yeah, but it's like I think it's out of respect, you know, to the stunt people.
I will say the first time I ever watched Ong Bak, that fucked me up.
That shit was
That was
Obsessed, bro.
I couldn't stop watching that movie.
I was like, how come no other action film does it like this?
I know, yeah, that's all you think, right?
Now hearing this, you're like, oh fuck, these guys are the truth.
Same with Raid. Same with the Raid. You're like, why don't they all just do it like this?
because they're in Indonesia.
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna recreate that feeling again of Ombak until I watched the raid.
Yes.
And you're like, oh shit.
It has
so
a type of
good.
rawness to it, right? Both those films, even different styles. It's like you can tell. All right, it's in South. It's like in Southeast, like really, like raw.
Plus, the
style.
Red Redemption, that little dude, the long hair fool. Psycho.
Oh, I worked with him just recently on a film, actually.
Yeah, fucking light bulb dude.
Yeah.
Is he cool?
Psycho.
These guys are like the sweetest guys.
Really?
Like I worked with two of the guys from the raid actually on a film coming out. It's called The Furious. It was shot in. It's a Hong Kong production, shot in Thailand, and
That sounds like all the right ingredients.
yeah. And those guys, as like beasts as they are, on the camera, they're like the nicest people you ever meet. Like they're like,
It's like in the culture.
yeah, like.
Yeah, I'm so nice, but I'll fuck you up, man.